And we are live. Hello, Hermit Trivia fans. Welcome to Hermit Trivia. Getting a nice early start here. Hope your quarantine is treating you well. Before you look and say, hey, Mark, where's your costume? I do, in fact, have a costume popping up very soon. I just don't want to reveal it and be left all alone like the only girl with nice dress at prom. Hello to my lovely wife, Leslie. Hello, dear. Oh, hello! Big welcome to Darth Bob 88, a friend of mine from the System Mastery Discord. Welcome, Darth Bob. Glad to have you on the show. We should be getting started in just a few minutes. I have a beautiful living color. If I turn enough of this box and get the right colors, maybe Pinhead will come out. I will erase it. Is that better? Big ups to our public domain jazz funk soundtrack. Cool. Gonna wait a few minutes. Figure I'm gonna get to about six, seven streamers, and we can get this show on the road. Here's a question. What are we all drinking tonight? I've got my favorite drink, a little Diet Dr. Pepper, and just a bit of port. Spice of the night. And of course, my very, very special brand protected energy drink to keep things lively. Numbers are rising. Oh, dark and stormy. Nice. One of my personal favorites. guys. I love dark and stormies, but they have the habit. I gotta watch my water intake because it's got so much sugar. Like I end up with a wicked hangover the next morning if I go too wild. Oh, question: has anybody dressed up for quarantine Halloween this lovely March 31st? I have a costume prepped. I will show it later. There we go. Leslie's always wearing her Leslie costume. This music's got a very music from the Saturday Night Live band sort of sound. Musical guest for weekend. Special guest star Chevy Chase. No, I don't know why we let him back on either. Technically, since the self is a construct, we are all playing dress up. Galaxy brain. I can believe it. So for those not in the know, this is our very first Tuesday show. We've done Thursdays before then. We're hoping to do 2 nights a week, maybe 3 if we have like a Patreon only access sort of thing. Still gotta set that Patreon, all that great stuff, but. At least we got our friends from China. I keep forgetting who these are actually, Dave. Is this Yun Shu and Yun? I'm so bad. Low quality. Well, it's okay. If it's low quality, I wouldn't sweat it too much. Most of this is audio based anyway, so as long as it doesn't skip too much, you can still get some enjoyment out of it. Zhao Yun and Zhao Hai. Yes, Zhao Yun and Zhao Hai, our 2 favorite mascots from Yun High School. I love these little guys. 5 people so far. Welcome all newcomers. Gonna wait just a few more minutes for some more people to sidle in and we'll get rolling soon. Put on your thinking caps and your drinking caps. You could try, I don't know, you pause it for a little bit, like let it buffer, and then let it catch up. That might help. And if you don't hear the questions necessarily live, don't worry. You're basically, everybody here is scoring on their own. There's no competition to like hit a buzzer or whatnot. You just play with your friends. So as long as you're able to get the questions, it's not super essential. Yeah, Leslie's right. And Charles, welcome to the forum. I see you also have caught up on the Tiger King documentary. Whoa, what a trip. Charles, watch it. You would totally dig it. Tiger King is basically an Unknown Army's plot line set to a documentary. It's one of the coolest, weirdest things I've ever seen. Oh shit, Lisa, you almost volunteered at Big Cat Rescue. I'm really glad you did. Really glad you're still here with us. I'm really glad you're not tiger food. Oh, those poor tiger cubs. Yep, but you gotta exploit them while they're young and let people cuddle them real quick before they get too big and they get all ferocious. That's the rub. No, I don't know why I just don't do that. Be kind to animals. Quarantino wing. You dressed up. Okay. We're running to almost 9:40, so I'm gonna start in 3 minutes, I'd say. Just leaving a little extra time for any latecomers. Welcome all. So glad to have you here, my friends. For our very first Tuesday night Hermit Trivia. Charles, I thought that was your everyday. And Comet is, of course, our little dog who actually does look like somebody shrunk a Rottweiler. He's a cutie. Ah, nice. Port buddies. Woo. We got dark and stormies. We got ports. We got wine coolers. It's a bunch of classy bitches here tonight. It's cool. Hercules Mulligan. I only know him from. Well, I know him from Revolutionary War history, but I remember him from Hamilton. Is the mention there? I didn't know that was a drink. Rum and rye with ginger and bitters. Oh, that sounds really tasty. Sounds like a really good cocktail. All right, we are coming up at 9:40, so let's get this party started in earnest. Welcome everybody. I hope you're all ready. Welcome to our third episode of Hermit Trivia and to our very first Tuesday night Hermit Trivia episode. We're hoping to keep this a trend, maybe do 2 nights in a row. Welcome to Hermit Trivia. It's the trivia for smart people who stay inside. The only trivia where you can have the bar trivia experience at your table or in your bed. I'm Mark Walsh, your Hermit host. Thank you for joining me in this experiment tonight. Tonight's trivia is 6 rounds with 4 questions each. We changed it up. 6 rounds with 4 questions each. Each round will have its own categories. So we have many more categories now. I will read the questions twice and as clearly as possible. You will then have 1 minute to listen to a lovely public domain song and write or think out your answer. Each question will be worth 1 point. There will be a halftime question worth multiple points, as well as a 5-minute break between rounds 2 and 3. There will also be a final question after round 4, which will be worth 10 points. 10. I can count, yeah. You'll have 3 minutes to consider that final question. That being said, this trivia game can be played at home on your own terms. You can change the point values, choose not to use the points, break the party into different teams, put everyone to one big team, call in other players to be opposing teams or teammates on separate devices, fly solo by yourself, or just watch me, listen to me, enjoy me rattle off about trivia and other nonsense. As long as you're streaming with me and keeping us company, that's all that matters to me. I'm happy to help you. And yes, please let me know if you prefer this format or the last one. We are constantly experimenting. This is very new to us, so we want to find formats that keep people happy, that keep people coming back. Please feel free to chat to share your chosen food and drink. You can also share your point totals, how many teams you formed, descriptions of your socks, whatever you like, and more. There's one thing we ask you do not share on the stream. One thing, and that's please do not type out the answers to questions on the stream. Please. We work by the honor system here, and we know that you guys have everyone has access to Google, Wikipedia, all that. So it's pretty easy to just find answers, the right answer, and pop it in. But we just want to keep the mystery, keep it honest, and we want people to enjoy themselves. So please do not put any answers on the chat stream. In case somebody's competing with someone, you don't want to give away the answer. That's why. Also, please refrain from discriminatory talk, political talk, any excessive lewd talk or rudeness. Keep it friendly. And let's take a break from the current situation that keeps us from traditional trivia, the whole stuck inside thing. I know the quarantine is extremely stressful. Election talk very stressful too. People just want to relax, have a good time, and I think that's why we're all here. So let's just enjoy it. Be respectful. We have provided printout sheet that's been shared on Facebook. You can keep your scores on that, or you can just keep your score on scratch paper, however you like. Just a reminder, and please, if you do enjoy this trivia night, don't forget to share with all your friends, whatever social media you have. Point your friends to Hermit Trivia on YouTube. Go to your Discord, go to your Facebook, go to Instagram, go to Snapchat, go to LinkedIn, whoever uses that, I guess. If there's anyone who's at home and would love something fun to do on a Tuesday or Thursday night, please just bring them here. They're family. We love that more. And the last bit, today is sort of a very special day. Unofficially on the internet, this has been declared as March 31st Quarantine Halloween. Woo! Sort of, if living in a little spirit of Halloween, little bit of festive side. So we asked the people wear a costume if possible. I even brought a costume today. I have decided to go on the wild side, and I'm an inbred cat. Get it? That's my costume, folks. Okay. All right. No more messing around. Let's get this trivia game on like Tron. With our round one category, the category is insects. Insects, those creepy crawlies. Okay. So I'm going to set up my track and I'll get question one for the insects category. Yeah, sorry, that inbred cat thing is pretty bad. Question one. In March of 2020, a new genus and species of insect belonging to an insect group known as tree hoppers was named after what famous pop star because of its strange shape and vibrant color? In March of 2020, a new genus and species of insect belonging to an insect group known as tree hoppers was named after what famous pop star because of its strange shape and vibrant color? 1 minute guess. Here you go. "30 seconds. And that is time. Okay, question number one. In March of 2020, a new genus and species of insect belonging to an insect group known as tree hoppers was named after what famous pop star because of its strange shape and vibrant color? That famous pop star was Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga was named after, yes, there was a species of tree hopper discovered in Belize, I believe. Very colorful, flamboyant looking thing named Lady Gaga. Yes. And, oh, yes, okay, Leslie, of course, decided to bring up the time that we were living in China and I ate some cooked cicadas. You can get them at the Chinese barbecue places. Yes, just cicadas on stick. They're actually quite tasty, underrated. Yes, get on a stick. I did not eat the Lady Gaga bubble, though, thankfully. That was some shame. So fabulous. Okay, yes. Question number two. Question two. This is multiple choice. Multiple choice. Of all the species in the animal kingdom, insect species count for what percentage? Is that A, 18%, B, 48%, or C, 80%? Multiple choice. Of all the species in the animal kingdom, insect species count for what percentage? Is it A, 18%, B, 48%, or C, 80%? 1 minute. 30 seconds. 10 seconds. And that is time. Okay. Question number 2. Multiple choice for insects. Of all the species in the animal kingdom, insect species count for what percentage? They count for C, 80% of all the animal species in the world are insect species. Yes, they are. I don't know. We like to think about how God looks upon us, but I feel like God made an awful lot of insects. If He made some, maybe insects are God's special. God loves all the little buggies. Okay, or evolution does. Who knows? Okay. Question number 3. Question 3. In the biblical book of Exodus, speaking of God, the biblical book of Exodus, the King James Version, God inflicts 10 different plagues upon Egypt. Of those 10 plagues, how many of them involved insects? In the biblical book of Exodus, the King James Version, God inflicts 10 different plagues upon Egypt. Of those 10 plagues, how many of them involved insects? 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. And that is time. Okay, question number 3. In the biblical book of Exodus, the King James Version, God inflicts 10 different plagues upon Egypt. Of those 10 plagues, how many of them involved insects? 3 of the 10 different plagues involved insects. 3 of them. Plague number 3 involved lice. Plague number 4 involved flies. I'm sure Mark Twain would like that. And plague number 8 involved locusts. So yes, lice, flies, and locusts. Those are the 3 plagues that involved insects. Ooh. Okay. Question number 4. Locust cider. Is it made from real locusts? Yeah, no, actually, that's a good point. I did double check on that. I also thought lice were arachnids. Good point, Darthbot. But I did double check my research. They are in fact insects. I was looking at that. Cool. Ooh, I hate lice. Okay, question number 4. The final question. The final insects question. Question 4. The hoverfly is known in entomology as an example of a Batesian mimic, a harmless insect that protects itself by imitating the coloration of a more dangerous one. What venomous insect does the hoverfly mimic? The hoverfly is known in entomology as an example of a Batesian mimic, a harmless insect that protects itself by imitating the coloration of a more dangerous one. What venomous insect does the hoverfly mimic? 1 minute to answer. Check it out. 30 seconds. Ten seconds. And that is time. 10 seconds for our final insects question. Question four. The hoverfly is known in entomology as an example of a Batesian mimic, a harmless insect that protects itself by imitating the coloration of a more dangerous one. What venomous insect does the hoverfly mimic? The hoverfly is known for its black and yellow stripes, which allow it to imitate a bee or a wasp. It hangs out in the same areas. It buzzes around flowers, but it's got no stinger, no poison, no nothing. Unlike the bee or the wasp. So it's the hoverfly imitates usually a bee or wasp. I'll even accept hornet. Close enough, same sort of family. That's right, bee or wasp. That's probably your best answer. Yes. Okay, that was round one. I hope you're all enjoying this. Hope you are. If you are liking this feed, please feel free to like the video, like and subscribe to see more. Anything that boosts us helps our channel. If you've even got something you'd like to advertise or pitch, we can look it out. If the horrible misspelling of this sign is just driving you mad, if you just need the changes, then just we can find a way. Good. I'm glad you joined us. Awesome. Okay. Round two, food. The category is food. Personal favorite of mine. Let's go. Question one. Apparently a favorite of talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, what process of cooking involves leaving sealed food in lukewarm tanks of water for up to hours or even days at a time? Apparently a favorite of talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, what process of cooking involves leaving sealed food in lukewarm tanks of water for up to hours or even days at a time? Here's your minute. "30 seconds. Thank you, Kate Schultz, for subscribing to my channel. Great to have you on board. And that is time. All right. Let's discover the answer to the first question of the food category. Question one. Apparently a favorite of talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, what process of cooking involves leaving sealed food in lukewarm tanks of water for up to hours or even days at a time? This method of cooking is sometimes in scientific terms known as LT cooking, but most chefs know it by the phrase sous vide. Sous vide, yes, SOUSVIDE. Sous vide cooking, by which you leave food in tanks of water and tanks of lukewarm water for a very long time. I gotta wonder. So it's well known that Jimmy Kimmel is narcoleptic. You know, he is prone. He's an illness where he'll just fall right to sleep for like random periods of time and everything. I wonder if the sous vide cooking method is just like, okay, I got this. If I get all my food prepped, if I happen to just like fall asleep and wake up hours later, then I know I won't have burnt anything. It's okay. Thank goodness for sous vide. Be a lot of burnt meals. Oh, poor Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. Question number 2. Question 2. The fungus among us. It's not just mushrooms. What other fungus do we regularly consume in products like beer, wine, and bread? The fungus among us. It's not just mushrooms. What other fungus do we regularly consume in products like beer, wine, or bread? Here's your minute. Thirty seconds. Sorry, my music. Speaking of lagging, my music is lagging a little bit. Hey, wake up. There we go. 10 seconds. Okay, and that is time. Starbucks, my old alma mater. Those Green Apron days. I'm sorry, Dark Bot, having the lag problems. Hopefully that'll be fixed soon. It's what everyone is sharing this trivia moment. Okay, question 2. The fungus among us. It's not just mushrooms. What other fungus do we regularly consume in products like beer, wine, and bread? That helpful little fungus is yeast. Yeast is that delicious fungus that you are probably all drinking right now. I know I am. Thank you, yeast, for letting us learn how to laugh about love. Again. Yes. People rag. Hey, at least there's one microscopic thing in this world that that's got our back, right? Thank you, yeast. Yes, I do miss a good Star Wars. But man, I would just love a salted caramel mocha. That just sounds amazing. Future. Okay. Question number 3. Question 3. According to legend, what expensive treat was once considered a food only fit for convicts and the poor, until one night when a platter of it was accidentally served to John D. Rockefeller and his guests, and it got rave reviews? According to legend, what expensive treat was once considered a food only fit for convicts and the poor, until one night when a platter of it was accidentally served to John D. Rockefeller and his guests, and it got rave reviews? Here's your minute. Good luck. Thirty seconds. Yes, pickles. And that is time for question 3. According to legend, What expensive treat was once considered a food only fit for convicts and the poor, until one night when a platter of it was accidentally served to John D. Rockefeller and his guests, and it got rave reviews. This treat, of course, is lobster. Lobster, yes, that delicious roach of the sea. Yeah, thanks to a happy accident, according to legend, some lobster chowder ended up this table. People loved it, and now it went from something poor kids brought to lunch at school to something they'll charge $50+ for at one of your nicest places, like your legal seafood and stuff. Oh my god, like a legal seafood, big stuffed lobster, so good, so nice, or like a lobster roll. I love the taste. My wallet does not. Okay, lobster. Yes. Mm. Question number four. You're all making me hungry. Well, this is my fault. I made a food category. It's my fault. Question four. Though it is not something a healthy person should eat, a medical condition called pica, usually connected to vitamin deficiency, compels the afflicted to eat what substance? Though it is not something a healthy person should, a medical condition called pica, usually connected to vitamin deficiency, compels the afflicted to eat what substance? And here's your minute. All right, about 20 seconds. Just gonna jam out to this. And that is time. We got so question four. Question four. Though it is not something a healthy person should eat, a medical condition called pica, usually connected to vitamin deficiency, compels the afflicted to eat what substance? That substance is dirt. Also, except earth, mud, soil, but basically, dirt, earth from the ground. Yes, people with pica are compelled to eat it. It sometimes happens to seems to be a frequent condition sometimes with pregnant women in impoverished areas, being to crave extra nutrients. But it's I mean, so next time you see a guy's mouth on, you tell him to eat dirt. Remember, you might be doing him a favor. Hey man, eat dirt. Just doing you a solid. Keeping you healthy inside. All right. Don't eat dirt. Okay. Right, fell right. We're at our last round before the halftime. Four more questions. Round number three. Architecture. Architecture. After eating dirt, we're keeping it classy. Going to architecture. Question one. What Italian architect, known primarily for his country houses and villas, was known for his affordable housing because of his ability to combine Greco Roman techniques with inexpensive materials? What Italian architect, known primarily for his country houses and villas, was known for his affordable housing because of his ability to combine Greco Roman techniques with inexpensive materials? Here's your minute. 30 seconds. And that is time. Let's see our answer for question 1, architecture. What Italian architect, known primarily for his country houses and villas, was known for his affordable housing because of his ability to combine Greco-Roman techniques with inexpensive materials? That would be the great Italian architect Andrea Palladio. Palladio, yes, you've probably seen some examples of Palladian architecture before. Lots of friezes, lots of imitations of neoclassical columns. He was considered the height of architecture in the Italian High Renaissance. Quite a guy, that Palladio. Okay, question number 2. Question 2. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, is still a historic icon of that ancient empire. But in the timeline of human civilization, she was born closer to the founding of McDonald's than she was to the building of what ancient wonder of the world that still stands today? Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, is still a historic icon of that ancient empire. But in the timeline of human civilization, she was born closer to the founding of McDonald's than she was to the building of what ancient wonder of the world that stands today? 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Gotta stop touching my face. And that is time. That is time for question number 2. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, is still a historic icon of that ancient empire. But in the timeline of human civilization, she was born closer to the founding of McDonald's than she was to the building of what ancient wonder of the world that still stands today? That wonder of the world is the Great Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza, yes, the only ancient wonder of the world still standing. And just goes to show you how ridiculously old Egyptian civilization was. Yes, but the Great Pyramids of Giza. It's kind of what's the word? Sobering. Yeah, sobering. Sort of like to realize that those structures were just as distant to Cleopatra as they were to us. Pretty wild. Okay, question number 3. Question 3. What ballistically inspired house design comes from the fact that each house of its type has rooms lined up one behind the other, so that opening all the doors will create a direct passage from front to back? What ballistically inspired house design comes from the fact that each house of its type has rooms lined up one behind the other, so that the opening all the doors will create a direct passage from front to back? Here's your minute. Charles, You have to stop typing about food. You're making me hungry. It's because all I had for dinner was soup. Ate some solid food. Oh yeah, we're getting into serious porn music territory. Yeah, 10 seconds. Okay, that is time. Question number 3. What ballistically inspired house design comes from the fact that each house of its type has rooms lined up one behind the other, so that opening all the doors would create a direct passage from front to back? That would be a shotgun house. Shotgun house. Yes, said that because you could open all the doors, you could shoot a shotgun through the front door and pass all the way through the back door, hitting nothing. The possible shotgun house. Yes, question 3. The answer is a shotgun house. And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. Ask yourself, how do I get yes? Man, as you know how much I love the Talking Heads. Years ago I made a painting of David Byrne for back. I used to paint a lot, so I did an oil painting of David Byrne. I was crazy into Talking Heads back then. I might have to might see if I can find an image of that someday. Post that up. Pretty crazy. Okay, question number 4. Last question before the halftime. Question 4. What twin skyscrapers in the city of Kuala Lumpur currently holds the record for tallest twin towers in the world, as well as the 8th tallest building overall? What twin skyscrapers in the city of Kuala Lumpur currently hold the record for tallest twin towers in the world, as well as the 8th tallest building overall? Here's your minute. Yes, she does. All right, 30 seconds. Ten seconds. And that is time. Question 4. What twin skyscrapers in the city of Kuala Lumpur currently hold the record for tallest twin towers in the world, as well as the 8th tallest building overall? Those towers are the Petronas Towers. The Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We've seen those in actual Malaysia. My wife Leslie and I actually have been to Malaysia, and to Kuala Lumpur. Beautiful city, fantastic food. Funny enough, I think the towers were one of the few places we did not go. We saw them from afar. We had a great view of them out of our hotel. We didn't really check them out. Honestly, if I would recommend anything in Kuala Lumpur, I recommend Hindu Town. There's a really great. It's basically a little like Hindu neighborhood with fantastic Indian food, and the Batu Caves, which is a sacred shrine dedicated to the Monkey King, and it's a wonderful place. Just be prepared to climb some stairs and keep any shiny stuff in pockets because the monkeys will steal it. Yes, the monkeys. They let the monkeys run wild and they have no shame. Oh boy, those monkeys. Okay. All right. So that was our last category. We're now at the halftime mark. This is good. This is good. Hope everyone's maintaining their scores. I'll ask everyone to give me their scores after the halftime. In the meantime, if you're just coming here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget and keep going. I hope hope you're all having as much fun as I'm having. We're going to take our halftime question now. So, way this works. So we're going to have 5 minutes for our halftime break. 5 minutes, and the category of the halftime question is music. There are multiple answers. So each one basically is what each answer will be worth 1 point, and if you get all the answers correct, you can add an additional 5 points on top of that if you happen to get all answers. So there are a total of 7 answers total right. So the maximum total you can get for this, if you do really well to get all the answers correct, is you can get 12 points for this. So it's quite a doozy. Okay, the halftime category is music. Music, it's a fun one. Okay. Those legends of British rock, the Rolling Stones, were formed in London all the way back in 1962. Can you name the 7 band members that were part of the first stable lineup back then? Those legends of British rock, the Rolling Stones, were formed in London all the way back in 1962. Can you name the 7 band members that were part of their first stable lineup back then? All right, your 5 minutes start now. I'll see you at 10:26. Get the music on. Now I'm going to freshen my drink. Y'all should do the same. Nice. Yeah, what do you call it? Ladies and gentlemen, guest appearance from my dog. Okay, got about 2 minutes. Time's almost up. All right. About 10 seconds. All right, and we are back to Hermit Trivia. Welcome back. Hope you all had plenty of time to guess the answer for our music category. Hope you all had time to freshen your drink, take some bathroom breaks. Let me shut the door. That will sound really good. Cool. All right. I hope you had fun too. Okay. Special thanks to our guest stars, Comet and Xiaomei, our little dog and cat. Have a little fun there. Okay. The category is music. Let's see. What answers do we have? Those legends of British rock, the Rolling Stones, were formed in London all the way back in 1962. Can you name the 7 band members that were part of their first stable lineup back then? Okay, so those 7 Stones are Brian Jones, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, and Ian Stewart. So that's Brian Jones on guitar, Mick Jagger on vocals, Keith Richards also on guitar, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, and Ian Stewart. Yes, those are the 7 Rolling Stones. If you got all 7 of those famous Stones, you can add another 5 points to your score for a total of 12 points. But you can still collect 1 point per one what correct answer you have. I can't believe I'm just reading, and these guys are still touring. They had a tour planned. They had a tour in like 2019. I'm sure they're staying inside like everyone else right now. But blows my mind. How do they do it? Okay. So if you want, hope you're all still enjoying this, and we enter round 2. We got 3 more rounds, and then the final question. If anyone's interested in posting their scores online after halftime, please feel free to do so. Let people know how well you're doing. Let them know if you're having fun, and of course, like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Let's move on to round 4. The round 4 category is sports. Sports. Charles says they had their blood replaced before now. I think you're right, Charles. I think in D&D terms, I'm pretty sure Keith Richards is some sort of bardic lich at this point. His phylactery is just like a Jack Daniels bottle. Okay. The round 4 category is sports. Sports. Question 1. What international team sport coined the term sticky wicket to describe a difficult circumstance? What international team sport coined the term sticky wicket to describe a difficult circumstance? And I'm going to change the soundtrack up on you a little bit. Still funky, just in a slight different way. And your minute starts now. Let's see on this jazz. Yeah. 30 seconds. And that is time. Okay, question 1. What international team sport coined the term sticky wicket to describe A difficult circumstance. That term sticky wicket is seen in the game of cricket. Cricket, yes, that game that Pat went on from the British Isles, also very popular in India, even parts of China as well. It's how do you play it? Don't ask me. I have no idea. I did learn, however, that I can't name the player. Patrick Stewart apparently based his performance of Captain Picard off of a very famous, legendary cricket player. Like this dude is just like the Babe Ruth of cricket. I'm kind of kicking myself for not remembering the name right now, but that's kind of cool inspiration. All right. Question number 2. Question 2. On the hit comedy, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the gang tries to emulate what famous baseball player and hard partier by attempting to drink over 70 beers while flying cross country? On the hit comedy, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the gang tries to emulate what famous baseball player and hard partier by attempting to drink over 70 beers while flying cross country? Okay. 10 seconds. And time. All right. That is time. Question 2. On the hit comedy, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the gang tries to emulate what famous baseball player and hard partier by attempting to drink over 70 beers while flying cross country? The answer is the great Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs. I don't know about Don Bradman, but I mean, if he can beat Wade Boggs, that's a tough act to follow. Yes, Wade Boggs. Funny story about the backstage. According to Charlie Day on that episode, who played Charlie, Wade Boggs went up to him and said, look, I just want to be honest with you, man. I didn't actually drink 70 beers. I mean, that's just crazy. Come on, that's 70. He's like, oh, okay. And Boggs goes up to him and says, I drank over 100. It's true. Rip Wade Boggs. No, he's not dead. Don't worry. Even though his ghost was featured in the episode, we had the ghost of the not dead Wade Boggs. That was probably the funniest part of that. Very, very funny episode for me. I love that show. Yes, the answer was Wade Boggs. Okay, moving on to question number 3. Question 3. In the sport of sumo, what is the name of the highest rank that a professional sumo wrestler can achieve? In the sport of sumo, what is the name of the highest rank that a professional sumo wrestler can achieve? 30 seconds. And that is time. All right, question number 3. In the sport of sumo, what is the name of the highest rank that a professional sumo wrestler can achieve. That rank is the rank of Yokozuna. Yokozuna is a sumo grand champion. Very fun word to say too. Yokozuna. Yes, Yokozuna is the name of the highest rank a professional sumo wrestler can achieve. If you can approach E Honda levels, I've yet to see any sort of any sumo wrestler who can just do that. That he's got it nailed. All right. Question number 4. Question 4. In 2019, Chinese athlete Zhu Xiaodong had his Zhu Xiaodong had his social media accounts wiped and blocked by the mainland Chinese government because of his efforts to promote what martial art against traditional kung fu? In 2019, Chinese athlete Zhu Xiaodong had his social media accounts wiped and blocked by the mainland Chinese government because of his efforts to promote what martial art against traditional kung fu? Here's your minute. 30 seconds. And that is time. All right. Question 4. In 2019, Chinese athlete Zhu Xiaodong had his social media accounts wiped and blocked by the mainland Chinese government because of his efforts to promote what martial art against traditional kung fu? That martial art is MMA, mixed martial arts, professional ultimate fighting, mixed martial arts. Yes, Zhu Xiaodong is a mixed martial arts fighter who's made something of a career of himself by calling out fraudulent kung fu masters, like the kind of guys who claim that they can like make a man unconscious without even touching him, you know, semi-mystical stuff, and then actually like challenging him in the ring and just clowning them completely. It's insane. And unfortunately, this has really hurt China's national pride. So unfortunately, like the government has impacted him socially, like hurt his social credit score, his media, and like his gym has banned him, and all for saying like, you know, yeah, you actually see him fighting people, and these guys in traditional kung fu can't really compete. Not to say that kung fu has good skill with it doesn't make you a good fighter. The 10 of people who tend to challenge him, and the 10 people who goes to the match are like the frauds, the guy who believes, try to tell people that kung fu gives you mystical powers. So good on him. Zhu Xiaodong fighting a good fight. All right, you're now at the round 5 category. Round 5, video games. Video games. Question 1. Beat Saber, Guitar Hero, and Dance Dance Revolution are all video games belonging to what genre, where players are prompted to keep time with the beats or notes of music? Beat Saber, Guitar Hero, and Dance Dance Revolution are all video games belonging to what genre, where players are prompted to keep time with the beats or notes of music? Here's your minute. 30 seconds. I got 5 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that is time. We have our answer. Question 1. Beat Saber, Guitar Hero, and Dance Dance Revolution are all video games belonging to what genre, where players are prompted to keep time with the beats or notes of music? And that genre of video game is called a rhythm game. Rhythm game. We also accept rhythm action game. And so as long as you've got rhythm in the name, I think that should be okay. But yes, those are known as rhythm games. If you can keep up the rhythm of the night, oh yeah, or keep time with the rhythm of the night. Oh, some with rhythm. You only need the night. You can do daytime, high noon, morning, sunset, sundown. As long as it's a rhythm game, it's fun. Good times. Okay, rhythm game is the answer. Question number 2. Question 2. What gaming mega flop still holds the Guinness World Records title for longest development period for a video game, with a total time of 14 years and 44 days? What gaming mega flop still holds the Guinness World Records title for longest development period for a video game, with a total time of 14 years and 44 days? Good luck. Thirty seconds. And that is time. Question 2. What gaming mega flop still holds the Guinness World Records title for longest development period for a video game, with a total time of 14 years and 44 days? That sadly was the once great FPS Duke Nukem Forever. Duke Nukem. Well, it was never great, but it was part of a once great series. It was fun. You could definitely laugh at blowing up aliens and blow it out your ass. I had a lot of fun with that. But oh god, Duke Nukem Forever. It's just 14 years of nothing, man. It's I guess Duke Nukem, you'll be well known for something until Star Citizen takes the crown. Star Citizen's just hoarding money and dragging development time. Like, I'm coming for you, Duke. I'm coming. Yes, but the answer is Duke Nukem Forever. And just thinking about that game makes my head hurt. Okay, question number 3. Question 3. Since it was first created in the Soviet Union in 1984, Tetris remains the gold standard for addictive puzzle games. What is the official name of the little falling blocks in Tetris? Since it was first created in the Soviet Union in 1984, Tetris remains the gold standard for addictive puzzle games. What is the official name of the little falling blocks in Tetris? Here's your minute. Okay, about 10 seconds. And that is time. That is time. Oh, I hear some rain outside. We in Florida are finally, it sounds like, getting some much needed rain. Oh, that is a wonderful sound. Love it. Anyway, back in the action. Question 3. Since it was first created in the Soviet Union in 1984, Tetris remains the gold standard for addictive puzzle games. What is the official name of the little falling blocks in Tetris? Those delightful little blocks are called tetrominos. Tetrominos. Those are the little blocks. I'm still addicted to Tetris game. Yes, rain, fall, beautiful rain, like beautiful tetrominos. Fun story. I was once at a party where a weird dude came up to me and for some reason was convinced I was Russian, and I was a little tipsy at this point, so I decided to play along and tell him yes, and I told him, let me sing you folk song from my country. And I just started singing the Tetris theme and got him to sing along. Thankfully, I killed the joke after that, but you haven't lived till you've seen fake folk dancing to which I think it's actually an old folk song. Oh, apparently the name Tetris came from tetromino and tennis because the creator really loved tennis. I can't argue with that. Fun game, good for your elbow. All right, question 4, final video game question. Question 4. What video game company stepped into controversy when it banned a competitor in their Hearthstone Grandmasters tournament for a year because the player showed support for the 2019 Hong Kong protests at a company-sponsored streaming event? What video game company stepped into controversy when it banned a competitor in their Hearthstone Grandmasters tournament for a year because the player showed support for the 2019 Hong Kong protests at a company-sponsored streaming event? Here's your minute. Welcome to Oblivion. Gotta finish this. Otherwise, Garrett from DS9 will steal my skin. Oh, yeah. Just a couple more seconds. And that is time. There we go. Okay, question number 4. Question 4. What video game company stepped into controversy when it banned a competitor in their Hearthstone Grandmasters tournament for a year because the player showed support for the 2019 Hong Kong protests at a company-sponsored streaming event? This company is famously is Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard, known for such popular games as World of Warcraft and Overwatch, and yeah, they really stepped in it. It's there were massive protests at the 2019 BlizzCon because of it. Fortunately, they backed off a little bit and they reduced the ban for the character. I don't think the ban should have happened in the first place, but in this age of geopolitical and economic soft power, Things get pretty treacherous. Who knew? Okay, yes, the answer is Blizzard Entertainment. And now we're on our last category before the final question. The last category is round 6, literature. Literature. Question 1. In Bram Stoker's Gothic horror classic Dracula, Dr. Van Helsing performs a medical procedure upon Lucy Westenra that, at the time of the book's publishing, was still considered to only be theoretically possible to perform safely. In Bram Stoker's Gothic horror classic Dracula, Dr. Van Helsing performs a medical procedure upon Lucy Westenra that, at the time of the book's publishing, was still considered to only be theoretically possible to perform safely. Set that up. Here's your minute. I'm the host. I can dance if I want. You can't stop me. You can't stop this. Thanks. Okay, 15 seconds. And that is time. Question 1 for literature. In Bram Stoker's Gothic horror classic Dracula, Dr. Van Helsing performs a medical procedure upon Lucy Westenra that, at the time of the book's publishing, was still considered to only be theoretically possible to perform safely. That medical procedure was a blood transfusion. Yes, a blood transfusion. Within the book, of course, Lucy is being preyed upon by Dracula, drinking her blood. And so Dr. Van Helsing proposes, we're going to keep her alive. She needs fresh blood. We'll transfer blood from your body, Dr. Seward, to hers. And this seems, like every day to us now, but you have to remember, this book was published in the late 19th century, and it wasn't later until the 20th century that the scientists, hematologists discovered things like blood factors and blood types that are vitally important in order to perform the kind of successful blood transfusion that a patient could survive. So Bram Stoker is very much ahead of his time in that day. The idea of an actual successful blood transfusion that would produce healthy results was just theoretical back then. Pretty cool. Yes, the answer is a blood transfusion. I'm sure the count loved that. All right. Question number 2. Question 2. The Blue Castle by Lucy Maud Montgomery is the only novel written by her to take place outside of her childhood home of Prince Edward Island, making it already very different from this long-running series of books she was most famous for. The Blue Castle by Lucy Maud Montgomery is the only novel written by the author to take place outside of her childhood home of Prince Edward Island, making it already very different from this long-running series of books that she was most famous for. And here's your minute. 30 seconds. And that's about time. Okay, question 2. The Blue Castle by Lucy Maud Montgomery is the only novel written by the author to take place outside of her childhood home of Prince Edward Island, making it already very different from this long-running series of books that she was most famous for. That series of books was, of course, the Anne of Green Gables series. Anne of Green Gables. Also, give you credit if you just put Green Gables, but yes, as you know, everyone's favorite little tsundere redhead, Anne of Green Gables, is the most famous series of works by Lucy Maud Montgomery, and the personal favorite of my lovely wife, Leslie. She also loves Blue Castle. I promised to take her to Prince Edward Island someday, and I intend to hold up that promise. We're going to have a wonderful time in Prince Edward Island, sweetie. Love you. And I'm also going to absolutely ensure that I'm going to guarantee 100% that there will be a Green Gables dispensary somewhere. There will be a Green Gables dispensary, and I will see that weed and I will smoke it. Welcome to the 21st century. All right, Anne of Green Gables was the answer. Okay. Question number 3. Question 3. 90s kids remember what young adult book series written by K.A. Applegate tells the story of a group of preteens given the power to transform into animals so that they can protect Earth from alien invaders. 90s kids remember what young adult book series written by K.A. Applegate tells the story of a group of preteens given the power to transform into animals so that they can protect Earth from alien invaders. Here's your minute. Cool. 10 seconds. And that is time. Let's discover it together. 90s kids remember what young adult book series written by K.A. Applegate tells the story of a group of preteens given the power to transform into animals so that they can protect Earth from alien invaders. That is the great young adult series Animorphs. Animorphs. Like, hey kids, we're aliens. What? You're aliens? Yeah, we're going to let you turn into animals. Oh, rad! Super cool. What do you have to do? You have to fight a never-ending war against other aliens who will kill you and invade your bodies. Oh. That's rough. No, actually, I heard it's actually like a pretty good series. And actually, someone's saying, I think, so Dark Bob said something about available online for free, which is super cool. Charles is saying, Charles, I don't think, is he talking about L.M. Montgomery or is he talking about K.A. Applegate? We're talking about Green Gables or Animorphs. What's the series available for free? Because I'm really curious to see that. I want to check that out, Animorphs especially. one got read cool too. I know Leslie loves. Oh, nice. Animorphs on for free. Thank you for the reminder, Dark Bob. That is actually, I'm looking for some new reading material, and I'm definitely going to check that out. That sounds great. My brother, big shout out to Mike if you're listening. I know you were a big fan of those books growing up, and I think I was past that point in time, but I kind of want to dive into them again. Okay, yes, the answer was Animorphs. Animorphs. So we have the last question before the final category. The last question. Question number 4. So it goes. What satirical author's body of work was forever influenced by his experiences as a POW in World War II, in which he witnessed the firebombing of the German city of Dresden? So it goes. What satirical author's body of work was forever influenced by his experiences as a POW in World War II, in which he witnessed the firebombing of the German city of Dresden? Here's your minute. Okay, about 15 more seconds. All right. No, I'm not putting on a commercial. Okay, here we go. That's our question. Let me bring that to you. Where'd you go, Funk Soul Music? Sorry. Question 4. So it goes. What satirical author's body of work was forever influenced by his experiences as a POW in World War II, in which he witnessed the firebombing of the German city of Dresden? That author would be the great Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut. The firebombing of Dresden was, of course, heavily, the biggest influence was on his book Slaughterhouse-Five, one of my big classics. I remember my sophomore English teacher introducing me to that book after I was tired of, the usual English class drill. It's like, this will change your life. And I was like, hey, this kind of did. It's also depressing, but that's me. So yeah, Kurt Vonnegut, one of my favorite authors. Also, Breakfast of Champions, Slapstick, Galapagos, Cat's Cradle, you name it. It's probably one of my all-time favorite authors. Kurt Vonnegut. Good. All right. We are now into the final question. This is the big one. You're going to have 3 minutes for this, and this question is worth up to 10 points. Now, here's the important thing. This is a wager question. You can wager up to 10 points on this question, anywhere from 0 to 10 points. This is the only question that you'll lose points on if you get it wrong. And you have to get all parts of the question correct. You don't want to, there's no margin for error in here. So make sure you wager wisely. If you'd like to post your scores on the live chat, feel free. If you've been keeping track, if you just like to have some bragging rights to show off, go for it. If you have been enjoying this podcast and just watching and you have not yet, please feel free to like and subscribe. Tell all your friends on any social media you got. Please bring anyone who's in this quarantine, who's in this situation. Please, we'd love to have more visitors. The more, the merrier, and we love to bring more entertainment, more joy to everybody's lives. So the more people that come here, that'd be great. We're currently going for Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll hope to keep everybody connected. Thank you all for coming by. I just want to thank all current players here, the ones I know about at least, for popping by. Big thanks to Charles Barrett. Big thanks to Darth Bob 88. Big thanks to my lovely wife, Leslie J. big thanks to Lisa and my brother Mike for watching along with me. Big thanks to I saw Katie. Big thanks to Kate Schultz for coming by. Thank you to all of you for coming by and enjoying and putting up with my nonsense. I don't know. I don't know. I hope you're all having as good a time as I am. I'm having a fantastic time. But anyway, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie. The final question. The final question. The category is inventions. Inventions. Now, here's what I have you do. I'm going to show you. Here's the category here. On the left, we have 5 civilizations. These are 5 ancient civilizations on the left. So you want number 1. Oh no, not civilization. Sorry, inventions. On the left is 5 inventions from 1 to 5. Number 1 is paper. Number 2 is scissors. Number 3 is windmill. Number 4 is chess. And number 5 is wheelbarrow. And then on the right, from A to E, we have 5 ancient civilizations. Five civilizations. So we have A, we have India. B, we have Egypt. C, we have China. D, we have Greece. And E, we have Persia. So what I want you to do in the next 3 minutes is, I'm going to hold this up for a little bit so you can all get the answers down. We have paper, scissors, windmill, chess, and wheelbarrow on the left side. And then we have India, Egypt, China, Greece, and Persia on the right. What I want you to do in the next 3 minutes is match the invention to the civilization that invented it. Match the invention to the civilization that invented it. You have 3 minutes to do this. All right. Ready? Your time starts now. Leave this up for a little bit. Okay, 1 more minute, everybody. seconds. And that is time. All right. All right, there we go. Let's discover the answer together. I hope you all enjoy and much fun coming up with this question, as I mean, answering question as I did coming up with it. This is always at the end of the show where I've had too little sleep and too much to drink, so I get a little sloppy. Apologies. Okay, well, no, but the final question. Let us discover the answer together. All right, so let's start at number one. All right. Paper. Number one was paper. By that I mean wood pulp paper, not like papyrus or any of that. Wood pulp paper got its start in the its full invention was in the second century BCE in the Great Middle Kingdom of China. China. So the answer to number one is C. China. All right. Number two, scissors. Scissors. Who invented scissors? Scissors were an invention in Egypt from around 1500 BCE. Scissors were from 1500. Scissors were made in Egypt. Yes. So the invention of scissors came about there. Okay. So we have paper and scissors. Clearly, the next answer is rock, right? Nope. Nobody invented rock. Okay. So number three, the windmill. The first working windmill is made around the year 650 CE in Persia. Persia was actually where they found the windmill. That's funny. If you had asked me where the first windmill came from, I would have never guessed Persia. So it's E. Persia is where they invented the windmill. Okay, number four, chess. That great game that I love so much. Chess was invented in A. India. Chess dates back to the 4th century CE. It was invented under the name Chaturanga. That is a much different game from there, but the start, they began in India. And of course, narrowing down the wheelbarrow. The humble wheelbarrow was invented in year 407, around 407 BCE in Greece. Greece. The wheelbarrow was invented in Greece. So the answers you want for your final answer, you want to have C, B, E, A, D. C, B, E, A, D are your final answers. If you got those answers in a row, then you gain all the points that you wagered. And if you're not, well, then you lose it. That's tough luck. It's okay. But that was a lot of fun. It was neat, and a neat little discovery on my part. And somehow I knew, Charles would have a winner. Yes, I was actually surprised that the wheelbarrow was invented as late as it was. You think it would come natural. Hey, we got a wagon, stick some wheels on it. I've got a wheel-led wagon. But yeah, I love that sort of things. I love historical inventions and such. And I'm sad to say it, but please post your scores if you like, because we are wrapping this game up. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out to our very first Tuesday Hermit Trivia Night. You have made this Hermit host very happy, all my friends. I hope you all have as much fun answering questions as I did making them and speaking them out. I hope it brightened your day, because my day is certainly a lot brighter. I'm going to hang out just for a couple minutes just to sit on the stream chat and chill, but that's I'm calling that game. My pleasure. Thank you all for coming. Just had a few sips of my drink. This is, like I said, this is very much experimental. This is very much a work in progress. So if you have any suggestions on how we can add some fun to the channel or make things that make people more enjoyable, bring more guests in and stuff, I'm totally open. Or if you just like to talk about a question you liked, or talk a question, another question you don't like Mark, that question was a bit janky. Also, your hat's stupid. But feel free. It's like, I'll fight you over my hat. Don't get me wrong, but no, go over me the questions. It's totally fine. I had a wonderful time. That was some great stuff. And of course, very special thanks to my lovely wife Leslie for joining this stream, for helping this channel come together with the questions. I'm glad you liked the LM Montgomery question as well. Thank you all. You rock. And again, of course, I mean, I'm sure at this point this is second nature. But if you did enjoy this channel, please feel free to share it on all your social media feeds. Share it with your friends because it's really the more the merrier. The more people listening to questions and join, the best. We're hoping to have more plans, or maybe actually have a some future plans. We're having our some possible actual competitive trivia games. Like, maybe get like a small selection of 4 or 5 players, and we do a live stream, and I do a host, and people ask questions. Throwing some videos here. No reason it has to be limited to the trivia game. Yes, definitely, because like I said, this quarantine won't last forever. It'll end someday, but I hope this extends beyond. I hope this continues to be an opportunity that people will enjoy, and a game that people will still go in, even when they have the ability to go outside again. Like, Mark, I'm sorry, there are things called restaurants and places to go right now, so you're just gonna have to sit alone on your computer. That's okay. I'll be at the restaurant too. Yes, we will. We're going to have another one on Thursday. That's right. We'll have another one Thursday, same time, 9:30. Let's not have the time. We recently changed the time from 9 to 9:30 just to make it easier for our friends on the West Coast to sign in and get on earlier. So let them know how that works out for you. I think, yes, that Thursday, I'm going to ask, when you have the ability to go to restaurants again, what's the first place you're going to go? That's going to be on my mind. Oh, once again, more food. Yeah, the more trivia, the merrier. I got to get cracking on those questions. I love the hat. I mean, this is the best thing to come out of Jamin. It's the cat city. Special guest star, the inbred cat. Meow. Get it? Because it's bred. That's my new look. Just gonna walk around a piece of bread and go, "Aww, Charles, to quote the great Whitney Houston, crack is cheap. It's whack. I mean, that's probably one of the greatest moments in Barbara Walters' interview history. She's on Whitney Houston, and she's like, "Oh, there's rumors that you're doing crack." I don't know why Barbara Walters sounds like an old Irishman in this, but he's like, "You do crack," and then Whitney's like, excuse me, I'm a multi-platinum selling pop artist. If I'm gonna buy drugs, do you really think I'm gonna settle for crack?" Lady had a point. Oh no, this topic got kind of dark. Really, I was just gonna say, oh, shoot. There's actually, I highly recommend, one of my favorite podcasts in the world is, check out. It's called "You Must Remember This," which is all about, there's stories about everything from like the golden age, silver age of Hollywood. That tends to be main focus. But there's a recent series on "You Must Remember This," focusing on, particularly on the women and perception of beauty of Hollywood, and how far some have had to go in order to meet Hollywood standards and standards of fame. And there's one in particular particularly about one, Vanessa Williams, and then two, Whitney Houston, and then sort of the comparisons of their careers, and and how they've dealt with tribulation and scandal, and really fascinating. It's highly recommend it. Is she Montel Williams' sister? Is that true? Oh, you learn something new every day. Montel Williams, man, that's a name I haven't heard in over a decade. Hmm. Well, yeah, I'm hoping, there's no reason we have to settle on trivia for the channel. I'd like to do maybe incorporate some, like, you know, other stuff, interviews, role playing, live cast. Is the great thing. We're in an era where it's like a possible economic source of income is, hey, kids, watch me play a video game. Hey, we'll work that out. But yeah, I think it's a good time to call it a night. We can speculate on the future in our dreams, as I hope you all do. I hope. By the way, I wish you all good night. I wish you all wish you all a better reminder. Be safe. Stay inside. Wash your hands. Take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Have a good night, everybody.